A 2-0 final tonight at the University of New Hampshire, knocking off the Riverhawks here at the Cushing Field Complex. We were joined by head coach Joel Bancroft. And Joel, first, simply your take on tonight's match.
Yeah, I think that, we had a lot to play for tonight. I think with being in the top six, this changes it with the loss, I'm quite sure. But, we came out and I thought the first 10 or 15 minutes were pretty good. And the league this year is so tight, it comes down to lapses. And, a corner kick and we blew a marking situation and it's 1-0. And that carries us to the half. And, come out a little bit better in the second half, a little more organized, and then same thing. We let a header stick it in, and 2-0 is plenty for a UNH side that defends really well, and they're organized and they're hungry. They've got a lot of fight in them, and you could tell when they stepped on this field today that they really wanted to compete, and so kudos to them for the win.
I know there were times that we have come from behind in games, but in that there is a great deal of youth and thus inexperience, does it make it more difficult to come from behind, even when you have that much time to go in a game?
Sure.
That getting in that hole just is very difficult.
Sure. And I think we've got a lot of people that are assuming new roles due to a lot of injuries. Obviously, the inclement weather tonight made it interesting with 15 to 20 mile an hour winds and a wet surface. So we had a lot of variables to overcome, as did our opponent. And with our youth, it becomes a bit more magnified for us. And this team in the past couple of games, when we get behind 1-0, feels like 3 or 4 mentally, and we just can't get over the hump. And now even at home, that was kind of a piece of our away mentality, and now it's kind of bled into our home. So tough one for sure.
Is a lot of this mental rather than physical, you think?
I think so, and I think that when you get two teams that are so close in technique and just the ability to play, that becomes the area that you have to win. And so, UNH last year, I think they had 5 or 6 ties. They learned how to grind out points, and a lot of these kids carry over from that, and they've got some talented freshmen that they added as well. But it's hard, and it's a learned behavior to grind out points when you're not playing your best, and certainly the youth, it's part of their growing process.
Second half, though, I think we outshot them 11-6 in the second half. Came out with a different, I don't know if it was a different mindset, but seemed to really step it up offensively.
Well, we just talked about this was the last chapter that was going to be written in the America East, book for us this year. And we started with a great Stony Brook win. We've had some highs with another Vermont win and an Albany draw, and we've had some ones that we felt that we could have got more points from. And so, I don't think any player wanted this to be their last game. The first 45 minutes, the effort that they put forth. So I think to an individual, they picked it up a bit more organized. They got stuck in a little bit more. And, we caused some problems for UNH, but ultimately, when you don't put the ball in the back of the net, it just becomes a long road to walk.
You mentioned it is the last America East contest of this regular season. You certainly showed improvement. And depending upon what else has happened elsewhere, may still finish in 6th, which would normally qualify you for the playoffs. We're not eligible. Have we made some sort of statement this year, do you feel, in America East?
I hope so, and it's not so much a statement to the America East, because all the coaches and the staffs and the players, this league is great, and it's fantastic to be competing in it. What we need to do is make a statement to ourselves, to understand that we can play on the heels of last year where games were 3, 4, and 5-0 more times than not. This year, winning games, getting draws, and dropping games 1-0, 2-0, it's different. And so our mentality needs to be going into next year that we can play here, and even though we can't get in the postseason play, it will always be our goal to win the league, even when we cannot.
All right, up next is Yale on Tuesday.
Yeah.
What do you take from this to drive that?
Yeah, so we're on the road, and I think the good news is the next couple of games, it's a Tuesday format. We get to lick our wounds a little bit. We'll get some players back that just missed the deadline to play in this game. So hopefully with a little health, a little rest, we can put together two good efforts, obviously away at Yale and home at Dartmouth. Two good Ivy teams that will really try to play, really well coached, and we'll see if we can end on a high note.
Joel, I thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.